Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to talk about some best practices in AWS. It's going to be a pretend interview question for you. Before I start though, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. That motivates me to make more videos for you every day. Off we go. So the question is, what are some of the best practices for designing a highly available and fault-tolerant architecture, or really should be for an application in AWS? If you want to pause the video for a second and start to think about the question, you can go ahead and pause that, and I will go ahead and talk about the main points of this answer. Of course, you can answer it in many different ways, but some of the specific points of the answer should be the following. You have to mention auto scaling, and that could be either in Kubernetes or it could be in virtual machines. That way, with volume increase and decrease, your applications can stay up no matter how big the volumes are. You should also mention that the auto scaling should be done at every layer of the stack, because if one layer stays up but the other layer doesn't do any good. You have to mention null balancers. That way, if you have failure within a zone, let's say VM goes down, your application is not impacted. You also have to mention multi-AZ. AZ is basically you can think of this as one city, right? And kind of, they're close together anyway, right? So if you have a data center, if you go with AWS or GCP for that matter, you're gonna get you get to choose an availability zone, right? All that is basically, you can think of it as like a metropolitan area or something like that. The buildings are close together. If something happens, a disaster strikes, and that particular area or that particular city is not available, say internet-wise or power-wise, then your application will be down. So the best practice really is to have multi-AZ setup, so that if you have for example, if you have virtual machines, you should have virtual machines at least 3 different AZs, right? Generally speaking, that's true, but you can go with 2, but then you're taking some chances. Also, if you have containers, then same story. Your containers, your Kubernetes cluster, or your orchestration should be AZ aware, right? So it knows that if one AZ goes down, I should be sending traffic to the other AZ, right? Now, you can go one level higher and you talk about multi-region, which sounds great for DR purposes, but generally speaking, is very complicated to implement it at the application level. And all the companies I've been in, multi-region has been a real challenge to accomplish. Some of them didn't even accomplish in all layers, right? So you took a risk there. If an entire AZ goes down, or multiple AZs goes down, then you move from one region to another. For example, East Coast to West Coast, right? Now we're talking about regions, not just availability zones, right? So, but you should mention that generally speaking, that's a strategy that is expensive in multiple ways, and generally is done only in the case of disaster recovery. I hope you found this video useful, and I will see you in the next one.